Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Alex DeClaire here, and I'm going to run over what you need to know. I know I didn't make a video last week. That's mainly because there wasn't very much going on, but these past couple days, especially about till last Friday, there's been a ton going on. So jumping right into it, we've got National Signing Day that happened today. I'm going to run over the top 10 teams here, and they are as followed. Number 1, Clemson. Number 2, Alabama. Number 3, Ohio State. Number 4, LSU. Number 5, Auburn. Number 6, Georgia. 7, Florida. 8, Texas A&M. 9, Michigan. 10, Texas. Now, this doesn't really mean too much except for the idea that I took away from this. There are 6 SEC schools in the top 10. 2 Big Ten schools. 1 ACC, Clemson. And then 1 Big 12. Clearly, the top 4, which are Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, and LSU, are still leading the way as they have in recent memory, really. So, switching over to the UFC 245 happened this past Saturday, December 14th in Las Vegas, and there were three title fights. So, starting with women's bantamweight, Amanda Nunes defeats Germaine de Randamie. Now, this is a great fight, just solidifying the fact that Amanda Nunes is still a badass. Moving over to the men's side, the featherweight switched hands. Alexander Volkanovski defeats the former title weight holder, Max Holloway. And then in the premier fight, the last fight of the night, Kamaru Usman defends his title against Colby Covington. It was certainly an exciting night and ended in really a great fight. Really every fight was great that was on the card. And UFC 245 is chalked up as a success. Moving over to basketball, the Lakers lost last night, snapping their 14-game winning road streak against the Indiana Pacers. Now, the Indiana Pacers are 19-9. They sit midway in the East Conference, and the Lakers are leading the West Conference at 24-4. Now, the Lakers are still without Anthony Davis. He is day-to-day, and Kuzma has been out. So that covers really a couple things that I wanted to brush over, but there is one major thing that happened today, and that is the NFL Pro Bowl has been announced. And I'm going to run over a couple teams, namely the Patriots, the Ravens, and the Browns, and then talk about a possible snub that happened in the NFC. Now, the Patriots only sent 3 players this year, 2 defensemen and 1 special teams. Tom Brady did not make it. This snaps his streak that started in 2009 and went all the way to 2018. He is pissed, to say the least. Now, switching from a team that didn't send too many players to a team that ties the NFL record of sending players, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. They basically sent every skill position they could, besides a receiver, to the NFL Pro Bowl this year, and that includes Lamar, Mark Ingram, Mark Andrews, the tight end, Patrick Ricard, the fullback. They only have 1 fullback, and of course it goes to the Baltimore Ravens. And then 2 offensive linemen, Ronnie Stanley at offensive tackle and Marsha Yonda at offensive guard. This is unprecedented, really just solidifying the fact that the Ravens are the best offense in the league and arguably the best team in the league. And arguably, not even really arguably, but just kind of solidifying the fact that this is really their year and it's theirs for the taking. To round it off, we're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns, who were so hyped and acquired so much talent in the offseason, only sent 2 offensive players, Nick Chubb and Jarvis Landry, who are both well-deserving of this honor. But Baker Mayfield doesn't make it, which I obviously didn't believe he was deserving. And Odell Beckham doesn't make it. That continues his streak of not making it since 2016. So it's been 3 years now that he hasn't made it, and he was a huge acquisition for them in the offseason. So only 2 players from the Browns. Can't really blame them. They haven't been playing well. Don't look like they're firing on any sort of the same cylinder. So their struggles continue, especially on paper here we see. So the last thing I really want to talk about before I wrap this up is kind of this Dak Prescott snub conversation that's been happening. Now, the NFC quarterbacks that were nominated, there are 3 of them. It's Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers. I feel like you can't really throw Russell Wilson in this conversation, obviously, because he's still an MVP candidate, even though Lamar Jackson is basically running away with it, quite literally and on paper. And Russell Wilson is right behind him, with the other ones you want to throw in there. Drew Brees, I feel like you still can't throw in there because he's well deserving of this. His numbers don't really show, but he's setting records. His completion rate is incredible, and his team is winning. So I guess you leave Aaron Rodgers, but that's how I form this argument, is that Aaron Rodgers, I guess, is the one you can replace. So I put the numbers next to, I have Dak's numbers, Aaron Rodgers' numbers, and then Jameis Winston's numbers, just for kind of comparison in an argument I'm about to make. So starting with Dak. Dak has a QBR of 99.3. He has amassed 4,334 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions on a 65.5% completion rate. He is currently sitting with a team that is 7-7. I believe the team matters, just like it matters in basically every award, especially if you are the integral part of the offense and really the strongest leadership on the team. Quarterback is the most important position, so the record does reflect your play. Switching over to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is ahead of Dak Prescott at 100.4 QBR. He is currently leading the Packers, who are 11-3. He has amassed 3,463 yards, 24 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and then 63.3%. So lesser on the completion rate, 2 less touchdowns, and about 900 less yards. But he has a better QBR by about 1 point, a better record, and a way better touchdown interception ratio. 24 and 2 interceptions to 26 and 11 interceptions. Now, everything is pretty close except for the record. The record for the Packers opposed to the record for the Cowboys. And then the touchdown to interception ratio. I think those two are so drastically different and reflect so much of the play that Aaron Rodgers gets that edge. Now, I understand all the people that are going to throw their hands up and say, whoa, Dak has 900 more yards. Well, Dak, this is why I threw Jameis's numbers in there. Dak is number 2 to Jameis Winston, who is also leading a team that is 7-7 right now. Now, Jameis's QBR is way lower at 87.9, but he has 4,573 yards, roughly 200 more yards than Dak. He has 4 more touchdowns at 30 touchdowns, but he also has 24 interceptions and 61.7% completion, the lowest of the 3 that I've listed off. So if you're saying yards is end-all be-all, then Jameis deserves to be in this conversation because his yards are the highest. He's got more touchdowns. But that's not the case. Because if you're going to go into the game and play like Jameis does, which is essentially on paper throwing the ball up and just trying to throw it deep as much as he can, or really the numbers reflect a low completion rate, high interception rate, and a low QBR rate. Although his numbers, his yardage numbers are great, he isn't Pro Bowl worthy, obviously, because he threw 24 interceptions. And I think that argument transfers over to Dak. If you throw 11 interceptions and your opponent in this race throws 2, and the only thing separating you is 900 yards, which is significant, but he has a better QBR and a way, way better touchdown interception ratio, I think Aaron Rodgers gets the edge, along with the fact that he's leading a winning team who is likely to go to the playoffs, or is going to the playoffs, while Dak is still battling for a position with the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's everything I really have for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You know, we put out plenty of videos. We've been doing a podcast, so check out the podcast, Sliced Apples. It's on SoundCloud. We're about 5 episodes in, about to record our 6th. And if you haven't checked out the website, it's idealsportsentertainment.com. The Instagram is idealsportsentertainment. I am at Alex DeClaire on Twitter, and I will see you next time.